Continuing on that theme of improvement, what would you also say to these same athletes and maybe even parents trying to help their children through this in terms of their mentality through this? How can their mentality improve as they're training by themselves?
So when we talk about mentality, then I think we're talking about kind of their individual motivation. Is
Mhm.
that what you're kind of looking
Yeah.
for? Yeah, the individual motivation. I think here it's so important that the player owns this. I
Mhm.
don't think that parents can say, "Hey, I'm going to make you practice 20 minutes every day, and that's going to help you develop a motivated passion for doing this." That's just going to make them hate it. And so I think what we have to do is kind of meet players where they are and then try to help them maybe find things that they didn't realize slowly and not try to throw them into the deep end. And my example of that would be, I've had my players during this period working on the Techni app,
Mhm.
and our goal has been an hour a week. Okay. So, I mean, 10 minutes a day, 6 times a week.
Yeah.
Now, some of my players have struggled to get to that. And some of my players, I've got players doing 9 hours of Techni a week. I'm not sure what else they're doing besides Techni, eating, and sleeping. And so every player is kind of getting what they need in that scenario. For the players that just aren't as motivated to do it on their own, they're getting a little push in that direction. They're getting the information on how to do individual training of dribbling and wall work and juggling, and they're getting introduced to those things.
Mhm.
We're doing team challenges like skills challenges, juggling challenges, shooting challenges to try to kind of bring that out. And I was just having Zoom meetings with my teams last night, and some of my players talked about their juggling record going from 5 to 45 in the
Wow.
last 2 to 3 weeks,
Mhm.
just because they got out there and they were like, you know what, I didn't really like juggling before, but now that we had that challenge where we tried to juggle as many times as we could in a minute, now when I just have some time, I don't have anything to do, I'll just go out and juggle.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that making them gets them to that point. I think you just have to put it in front of them. You have to give them opportunities. You have to encourage any little effort they make in that direction. 5 minutes a day. Hey, do fast footwork and do moves and skills during the commercial.
Mhm.
Just something to get it, kind of prime the pump, if you will, just kind of start it. But then it's got to be up to the kids. I mean, it's just, if it's not up to them, it's not going to be a long-term motivating influence. It's going to be something they dread. And then sports turns into work
Yep.
when it's supposed to be fun. So, that's what I would caution against
Mhm.
for the parents.
Awesome.